welcome to this week's Landlord TV. This week I'm going to be talking about what to do when your tenant returns after they left the property quite some time ago. So what happened to us recently is we had some tenants come into the office and they left the property well over a year ago, and they were from Spain. So once the tenancy had ended, there was a few deductions that needed to be made from the deposit, such as cleaning, etc. And then our deposits are protected with my deposits. They go into their custodial based scheme. So when the tenant pays the deposit, we hand it over and they keep holding the money for the duration of the tenancy. And then come to the end of the tenancy, and we put through the dilapidations that we wanted to take from the deposit, the tenant made no contact with my deposits at all. So then what happens is it goes into what is known as the statutory declaration period, where my deposits give them so long to respond, and then if they don't, what they will do is release back to us what we've asked for, the deductions, and then they hang on to the rest. So the rest of the deposit hasn't come back to us, even though the tenant hasn't contacted them. It stayed with my deposits. And this tenant has come in today, and they left the property, it was over a year ago, come to think of it, and they turned up today and they were asking what would happen with their deposit. So what does happen is the deposit protection scheme has to keep hold of it for 6 years. And ultimately what needs to happen is the tenant needs to approach them and have the conversation with them, explain to them that the tenancy the deposit protection went into statutory declaration, and they would now like the remainder part of the deposit that wasn't kept or taken for any deductions to be returned to them. I think the tenant today thought that we would be able to automatically give him the money back, but unfortunately we can't do that. Now it is different if you use an insurance-based scheme, because you're the person who holds onto the funds, or your agent will hold onto the funds. But generally what should happen is the deposit scheme still have the money, they have to keep it for 6 years, and they should return it to the tenant. So ultimately, now you know what to do if somebody does come back after a long period of time and they're then asking for their deposit to be returned to them. The main thing is the dilapidations and the deductions that we've asked for during that time, we will automatically get when they don't respond, as long as we provided proof and evidence that we needed to deduct that money. So that's all for this week.